everything's on the table. Look, we're investigating Joe Biden. We know that Joe Biden said during the presidential campaign that he had no knowledge of his son's business interest. He wasn't involved. He didn't benefit from them. We have evidence that would suggest otherwise, and this is very concerning. You know, Americans are outraged that China flew a balloon over the United States. Americans are outraged that China's trying to buy farmland. I think Americans would be outraged to know how much money the Biden family's taken in from China.
Good God.
God.
That would be the goober from Kentucky, James Comer. Okay. Jody, guess what?
Good morning and happy Valentine's Day, Charlie Pierce.
Oh, happy Valentine's Day, Jody. Why do birds suddenly appear?
All right. Good morning. Charlie, we have some breaking news. Yes, Chris LeBoy.
The U.S. intelligence community's leading explanation for the 3 most recent unidentified objects shot down over North America is that they were being used for commercial or benign purposes, the White House says.
That's what they want you to believe.
Chris, you mentioned, aren't you supposed to give the FAA a heads up?
If you're flying something over North American airspace, you would think so,
yeah.
Yes.
I don't know.
So this is the last 3. This isn't the one that got everybody's
Right.
Everybody's
There
under
have been 3
things
since
not,
that.
right?
There have been 3 since that. Yes.
Right. These are the These are the ones that aren't that have no visible means of propulsion.
Right.
Yes. By the way,
And the one that went down in Lake Huron.
Right.
Yeah. I loved your piece. Marjorie Taylor Greene had a big classified tantrum over the balloon.
Yeah.
And you said, speaking as one American person, I wanted on the record that Marge doesn't rant like a third-rate radio host on my behalf. And as a third-rate radio host, let me just say, thank you, Charlie. You said I may be alone here, but tragically, she can probably say the same thing. It's just, I was saying, Charlie, it's hard to take anything they say seriously because they only care how it hurts Biden politically. We literally played a soundbite. I don't even know who it was saying, "Oh, now Biden's trigger happy." First, like he was right. Mike Turner, right?
Well, there was a spectacular quote from our old friend Jim Jordan from that oversight committee hearing that was such a barrel of laughs last week, where he talked about super secret James Bond transporters. And that's how the message got from the government to Twitter to kill every story about Hunter's laptop.
Yeah. By the way, can we, speaking of James...
I take it seriously because a lot of our fellow citizens do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that is a real problem.
Can we, speaking of James Comer, quickly, give me 12. I mean, speaking of Hunter's laptop, it is amazing how they are trying to spin Hunter Biden, who was a private citizen, right, who had nothing to do with government, and Jared Kushner, who just made $2 billion, right, from Saudi Arabia. God knows what happened with Qatar that bailed out, 666 Fifth Avenue. But here's Comer.
The Democrats complained about the Trump administration, but obviously we're complaining about the Biden administration. The difference between Jared Kushner and Hunter Biden is that Jared Kushner actually sat down and was interviewed. He was interviewed by investigators, so he's already been investigated. Thus far, Hunter Biden's attorneys, the president's attorneys, the president's White House, they're doing everything they can to block our investigation. Hopefully, the Biden family will be as cooperative as Jared Kushner with our investigation as they were with the January 6th investigation and all the other investigations of the Trump administration.
Oh my God, Charlie!
See, this is what happens when you elect Mr. Haney.
Yeah,
it's true. Yeah,
seriously. I mean, our Hooterville.
Right.
What is he talking about?
Yeah, Jared Kushner's been investigated for none of that. I mean, it's
and he's saying because he sat down with the January 6th commission, he's been fully investigated.
Right. And by the way, Charlie, why hasn't he been investigated for all that? For the obvious corruption in the Ivanka's trademarks and on and on and on. And what did they make while they were in office? $600 and something million.
640.
And they were part of the government.
Right.
Oh, thank you.
That's why Dad's running again. I think that they're probably they've got this neat little nest egg tucked away, and they need to add to it.
Yeah.
But no, the whole. I mean, I have a stake sort of in the 666 Fifth Avenue deal because the office of my publication once was in that building.
Oh wow.
The National, the old sports daily newspaper that I worked for, our IDs, our company IDs. I wish I could find mine because I showed to you. Our IDs didn't have, like, it was called the Tishman Building at that point. Didn't have Tishman Building on it. They had in big, dark, black letters 666 across the top, which should have told me something, actually.
Yeah. Should have been a little sign. Give me a sign, any kind of
Any
sign. Speaking of sporting the sport, how about that Super Bowl? You.
Oh man, I was so let down by the ending. I can't begin to tell you.
Yeah.
I don't pretend, by the way, to understand the halftime show, but it wasn't aimed at me, so I don't care. But to complain about Lift Every Voice and Sing,
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, which is, our real national anthem is an old English drinking song.
Yes.
Lift Every Voice and Sing is a hymn.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
So all you Christians that are objecting to it, shut up.
And Cheryl Lee Ralph is a national treasure.
Yes, she is.
Yes.
That's true. I don't know why I didn't know she could sing.
Why? She was in
she turned to-
Dreamgirls.
She was in Dreamgirls.
She turned a him into a her. You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying? What?
She was the original Dreamgirl.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
See, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That I did not know. I mean, I knew her from TV, and I knew she was a talented actress and I guess director and producer. But
Yeah.
I had no idea she could sing like that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, she's great.
You also wonder why there were 1,000 people on the field dressed like Marjorie Taylor Greene. See,
Yeah,
I
that
thought
was bizarre, wasn't it?
I thought they looked like the sperm in Woody Allen's Everything You Always Wanted to Know About Sex.
They did indeed. They did indeed. They also looked like little Stay Puft Marshmallow Men.
Oh, that's true too. Yeah.
I mean, they look
Okay.
like the marshmallows you put in cocoa.
And I love
Instead of
the
big ones you
picture.
roast over the fire.
You tweeted the picture of Elon Musk at the Super Bowl sitting next to Rupert Murdoch, and you just said, "Ladies and gentlemen, we've just seen the luxury suite from hell." Do they have luxury suites in hell?
It's interesting who old Elon's hanging out with these days.
Yeah.
And Rupert was remarkably lifelike.
Yeah. Yes, he was. He did look lifelike.
I mean, the fresh virgin baby blood that they've been infusing him with is really working.
Charlie, I opened the show with Ellie Misdal actually being happy clappy about Jack Smith and how fast he's moving and that he actually sees a ray of hope for justice. What do you think?
You're kidding.
Yes.
Ellie Misdal is optimistic.
I know. I was thrown off a little bit. It was a little
The
Valentine's
world's
gift.
gone mad. I mean, he's certainly accelerating the pace of finding people he really wants to talk to.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably I mean, obviously that's a good thing.
We, our legal expert, Jody Hamilton, Law and Order, it thinks that, because of course Pence is going to try to fight the subpoena, but not on executive privilege, which he already blew up in his book, but on separation of powers. But Jody says
because
that's not going to work either.
He was operating in his legislative function.
Right.
I mean, basically he was doing the only job required of the vice president.
Yeah.
Which is to preside over the Senate. Everything else is, gravy. Everything else is, dead dictator funerals.
Yeah.